You are a part in a space shipping company traveling the cosmos to deliver such things like boxes, cardboard, and mouthwash.
Yummy.
But something on this ship lurks in the shadows. Something that wants to feel powerful. Someone who wants to fuck a cartoon horse. This is Mouthwashing, an indie psychological horror game that puts you with 4 other crew members stuck in a broken spaceship with no other way back other than biding their time in hopes of getting saved. This game has been in the back of my mind for over 2 years now, and I finally get to talk about one of my favorite games that actually made me cry. I don't even remember how I discovered Mouthwashing. All I know is that one day showing up in my Steam library. I think there was a sale though for it, I'm not too sure. And after playing it, got obsessed with the fan base, forgot about it for a while, remembered about the fan base, starting getting back into the fan base, and getting re-obsessed with it just for this video that I'm making right now. Now, this game was made by a company called Wrong Organ, a team based in Sweden, in Stockholm. And the game is published by Critical Reflex, the same people who published Buckshot Roulette and No, I'm Not a Human. This game is actually Wrong Organ's second game. The first is a game called How Fish is Made, which is a free game you can play right now on Steam. But we're here to talk about Wrong Organ's more ambitious game, Mouthwashing, which isn't really your typical horror game. In most horror media, you're escaping or hiding from a monster or alien just to have a little bit of success in surviving. A good example of this trope is Alien Isolation, where you're constantly hiding from the xenomorph just to have a chance of survival. While Mouthwashing takes this idea and completely flips it on its head, making, if not, one of my most favorite horror games of all time. So let's dive in on what makes Mouthwashing such a great horror game and why it's my favorite horror game of all time.
Pony Express long haul. Space Freighter Tulpar. Crew 5. Planned shipment duration 382 days. Elapsed transit time 147 days. I hope this hurts.
The game starts a log where it gets us up to date on how things are going on the ship. We then cut to us and the controls for the ship named the Tulpar, and we get an info tip about it.
An orbital body has been detected 21 astronomical units ahead of the vessel. Please make a manual correction 1.4 degrees leftwards to avoid impact with unknown mass.
Turning to the right warns us that what we're doing is bad.
Extreme warning. Direct collision course with orbital body 1.9 astronomical units away. Engaging autopilot to recorrect vessel. Advise crew to take up emergency positions. 4,000 credits docked from crew pay package for failure of navigational staff.
Getting out of the chair, we can explore the cockpit, and interacting with the printer reads, there's nothing else to be done. And with the door, it states, I can't let anyone in. Pretty much confirms.
Yo, we're a bad guy.
Looking to the locker on our right, we open it, and there's an ID card below with the name Anya. On the top shelf, we get a key, and when taking this key and putting it in the keyhole, we just have deactivated the autopilot. Oh no. And pretty much doomed the ship. With nothing else left to do, we leave the cockpit, walking out and smelling the roses type beat. When walking out, you can see posters of a cartoon horse with positive messages on it. But when we keep walking down this hall, more and more posters are rapidly being placed all over the walls. And we run into a locked door, forcing us to go back. All the way back until we run into this statue of a cartoon horse waiting for us at the end of the hallway. This is Polle, the mascot for Pony Express, and we'll be seeing him a lot more in the future. This little guy. This little goober. He even has a voice box, listen. Shit.
Polle says, the Pony Express going hard space Friday. Tulpar is one of our fastest and safest ships.
Get the fuck out of here, you liar. With him eerily standing at the end of the hallway and him making crying baby noises, we have no other choice than to go back the way we came again. But the ship starts to puff smoke and sparks start flickering in your surrounding area, showing us that we are running out of time on getting out of here. And yet we run to Polle again, but this time he's all disfigured with more baby cries, even louder than before, making us run in the opposite direction. With all this running back and forth of us constantly hitting a dead end makes me think, or it's pretty obvious, that this is hallucination. None of this is real. There's no way this can be real. How can this be real? But what does feel real are the posters practically covering the walls with red alarms going off as we run in the opposite direction. And we run, 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 and we run.
Anyone else would do the same thing.
We ain't touching the damn cargo. The hold is locked down for a reason. The only thing worse than dying slowly is not getting paid.
But it could be something useful. I think...
Could be what? Hopes? Dreams? And marzipan? Ha!
You don't have to.
If it helps us survive, it's worth it.
Man, Pony Express bosses really aren't chill at all, huh? Come on, a quick look won't hurt.
How exactly is this group therapy committee planning on getting in there?
Oh, right here, boss. You're looking at the meanest swing of the regional junior baseball team. Straight up nearly croaked a kid once. I can't take that utility accent.
Your goddamn board fully corked.
That's enough, Swansea. There has to be an in case of emergency way inside.
If I remember correctly from the safety protocols, the door should have an alternate access code, but it can only be uncovered using a code scanner device.
And only the captain has access to the scanner.
Of course. Go ahead and ask him all about it then. Maybe he'll swing you the blues too.
We don't need him if we find the scanner, get the code, and open the hold. For better or worse, I'm captain now. I'll figure it out.
Right on.
So by the looks of things, a crew is arguing on whether or not to open the cargo hold. Amongst this bickering crew, we have Swansea, the mechanic of the crew, and very grumpy, not afraid to speak his mind and tell you what. Next, we have Daisuke, the intern for Swansea, and is very hopeful and chill. He's the type of person I would smoke a blunt with. Then we have Anya, the nurse and psychological evaluation person of the group, mostly very shy and timid, not really much of a talker, and was the person's ID card we found in the locker. And finally, Jimmy, the co-pilot, now self-promoted captain, who's trying to convince Swansea that they must open the cargo hold in order to survive. But we'll need a device called the code scanner, which is in the hands of their previous captain, which I'll get into later. When getting up from our chair, we can start to explore the destroyed ship. We can see a bunch of the foam covering pieces of the ship, even blocking some parts of the ship, like the sleeping quarters and the loo. Having to resort to sleeping on medical mats and no idea where they should. We also see the posters we saw when running from the cockpit saying such inspirational things like,
Polle says rise and shine. Sleep is the best rest after a long day of work. Earn that rest. Don't overdo it or fall behind. Do not indulge in over 5 hours of rest. Polle says giddy up, Galaxy. Punctual delivery is our pride and promise, no matter where you are. Late deliveries will be docked from personal credits.
already showing what working for this company is like. It really gives off Fazbear Entertainment mindset. It's most likely with the stuff with like only take 5 hours of rest when the recommended of sleep for a person to take is 8, with 5 being the minimum, which is some pretty shady business practices, especially with a job like an outer space shipping company. And next to all these posters is the Polle statue that we saw earlier, which when getting closer to, activates and says a heartfelt message.
Polle says, Mondays are the worst, but coworkers can make it better. Yay!
He does this every time you go near him. You can also find Daisuke chilling in the lounge, and talking to him, we get informed on how things are going with the food.
Looks like it'll be soup again for dinner. Want a rock, paper, scissors for the chicken noodle?
How much food do we have left?
I'd say like 4 months-ish.
Less than the remaining air supply, but we can make it last. In theory. We'll be starting to poke new holes in our belts pretty soon to pull that off.
Man, my mom will straight up stuff me when I get back. I'll look like Swansea. We'll have a rad story to tell, though. They might even write articles about us. We could be on TV.
It'll impress the ladies, too.
Hell yeah! The real problem is us running out of toilet paper. Fatal stuff, man. We should leave that part out for the press.
Exploring more all the way to the medical bay, we find Anya and our last crew member, Curly. He was the captain of the ship, and now just lays here for most of the game, not doing much other than laying here and being red licorice, with Anya here keeping an eye on him.
He doesn't want to keep still anymore.
What about the painkillers?
It just hurts him so much. I can't stand the noise.
You did make it through nursing school, right? Pony Express sure knows how to cut corners. Nothing else.
I was thinking we never went back to the cockpit after we dragged him out.
It's almost entirely foamed up. Kind of a miracle Curly didn't end up fossilized. But it still could be unstable.
I just think, well, it's the only place the scanner could still be.
Otherwise we're shut out of luck. I'll take a look.
I know you'll figure it out, Jimmy. You're so capable. Oh, also, well, I was hoping you could help me with Captain...
Curly?
Right, sorry. With Curly's medication?
People have to be worth their titles. Don't you think, Nurse Anya?
Yeah. Forget I asked.
I'll take care of it.
It's worth to note that Jimmy's kind of a dick to Anya, sneering at Anya's nursing skills. There's also a quick thing to mention that she did fail nursing school 8 times, so I wouldn't want that to be my nurse's record. He also cuts her off whenever she talks about Curly as being the captain, making sure she calls him captain, which is really kind of an insecure thing for him to do. I mean, no captain demands you to call you captain. That's a title you pretty much have to earn from your crew. She also talks about checking the cockpit to see if the code scanner is there, more so of the game hinting to you that's where it lies. But before going, Anya asks you to give Curly his medicine, to which Jimmy just does it himself, making Anya feel incompetent. Taking the painkillers and giving them to Curly gives us one of many uncomfortable scenes we have to listen to.
Hold still, yeah? I don't like this any more than you do. You know what they say? Pain is how we know we're still living.
Can't bear to listen. Excuse me. Sorry.
Anya runs out of the room, not comfortable with the noises. Guess she didn't fuck with ASMR. More for me! Going to check on Anya, we learned something very important.
We don't have a whole lot of painkillers left. But do you still want to keep...
Why do you think he did it?
Does it matter? What answer would make you feel any better?
I have to believe that our worst moments don't make us monsters, Jim. I have to. Even in his case.
He tried to take us all down with him, Anya. The way I see it, there's 2 reasons to keep him alive at this point. Guess the important bit is that we all agreed to it for one reason or another.
I'm still feeling nauseous. I need a minute.
So it's real that Curly is the reason why they're stuck in a broken ship in the middle of space, with the only reason why he's still alive is because the whole crew voted on to keep him alive for one reason or another. Making our way over the cockpit, we run into Swansea with him standing outside the utility room.
Ain't you supposed to be figuring out our great cargo robbery?
Why are you standing out here?
None of your goddamn business.
Everything is my business now because of Curly. I don't want to keep having this conversation.
Right. Capitano. I'm working. Blue-collar fools can't afford to stop working, even when the machine does. Go figure. And before you start, I'm taking a break. Don't you worry. I ain't going over my break time allowance. Ha!
Working on what? How does it look in there?
It's a solid wall of foam. I'm trying to see if I can break it down enough to get something useful out. Any of my tools. But if I breach that foam and break the air seal, it's lights out for all of us. I ain't letting anyone else mess around in there.
Even Daisuke? He's your intern, he's supposed to be helpful.
You think I'm letting that knucklehead in here after the crash roughed it up? Our so-called nurse nearly skewered her leg when the vent hatch was open during maintenance. And that was before the crash. I warned her, but it's in one ear and out the other. Then there's that teeny bopper thinking only with this downstairs long nose. Just like my useless kids back home. So no, ain't letting anyone mess around in here.
Alright, Swansea. Keep me updated.
Utility, from what Swansea says, is completely foamed up and isn't letting anyone help him. Not even his intern Daisuke, which we can ask Daisuke about if you decide to go talk to him.
Has Swansea been like this towards you for your whole internship?
That's just how it is, man. Didn't want a spud like me following him around for the entire year.
This isn't really the internship experience anyone had in mind. Don't let him push you around too much.
His bark is worse than his bite. He may be cranky, but he is a legit wizard of a mechanic. I was like, you're wrong. So this is what years and years of experience looks like?
I'm sure he appreciated that.
Making our way back to the cockpit, we find the code scanner to go unlock the cargo.
Yo, I'm sending like, bro, you don't send me no reels, bro. That should be making me sad. Like, I'll be sending the homies reels, and either they don't respond or they don't be sending me reels back, bro.
I'd be sending you reels, but you don't respond back.
You got me. You got me.
Fucking liar. For the game to crash. The game glitches and takes us to the past where we get to see Curly talk.
Are you listening?
Yeah, damn. So sorry. Couldn't sleep again. But I passed a psyche eval?
Well, you gave the same answers as last time. I do wish you'd open up a little more, Captain. These evaluations aren't just about you.
As long as I'm fit to fly in your eyes, Anya.
Oh, stop it. Guess that means I only have one more eval left to do.
Jimmy?
He acts as if I do these things for fun. And I have to make a report with things like, "Oh, I found myself sexually excited by the sight of cartoon horses."
Ha! Well, get take it off your hands.
Really?
I've known him a long time. He won't try any bullshit with me.
I suppose you are the captain.
I am the captain.
Thank you. What a relief. Oh, before I forget, Swansea asked me to give you this.
They can't expect me to perform miracles.
Not sure what it means, but, sounds like fun. Good luck, Captain.
With Curly daydreaming, it seems that Jimmy gives Anya a hard time and makes very inappropriate comics for Anya to write down, which she shows she's not comfortable with. But thankfully, Curly, being the good captain that he is, volunteers to do Jimmy's psych evals, as well as getting a note from Swansea from Anya with him complaining again. Before leaving the room, you can talk to Anya again to learn what Daisuke said on his psych evals.
Daisuke described his experience as an intern so far as awesome, super cool, and, like, totally awesome. Like, really awesome. Should I be worried?
When getting to utility, we get our first look at Jimmy, and yep, yeah, he certainly looks the part.
And the Pony Express said they don't provide onboard entertainment.
Feels like there's always something broken in that room. Tolper's starting to show her age.
Past inspection, right? Shouldn't be an issue.
Plus, they added Daisuke last minute. Didn't count that there'd be 5 of us now. I really should have made a bigger stink about that.
Walking in, we can see the problem.
Well, I can see the issue.
The kid was brought on just to make me suffer. Intern my ass.
I was trying to fix the vent. How'd that trigger the emergency phone?
Because you're talented in all the wrong ways. I would have dealt with this, but only you can unlock the X case. Every goddamn thing has to go through you.
I'll handle it. Hang in there, Daisuke.
What do you know? Swansea's complaining again. And now, needing to free Daisuke, we unlock the axe to free him.
Ouch! Oof, strong stuff, huh?
Get it through your goddamn skull. That vent is strictly off limits. Fully fucking collapsed inside. You looking to get impaled, electrocuted, and cooked?
Yeah, but like, you can't fit in there to fix it, right? So I could totally handle it.
Captain.
Give me the axe.
Swansea. This could have damaged the pods. You can't let something like this happen again.
Yeah. I got it. Loud and clear.
Keep that axe until you've cleaned this all up, yeah?
After that scuffle, we see Jimmy just standing at the doorway being useless.
I take it Anya diagnosed you with being sane, then?
Just off-center, but it's what it keeps me on my toes. I said I'll do yours. I want to hear all about those cartoon horses. Is that something you were born with or a recent development?
Alright, shut up. Let's go to the cockpit.
When leaving utilities and making our way to the cockpit, you start to notice pretty quickly that something isn't right, since it never takes this long to get to the cockpit, with the music getting drowned out with this silence. If the long corridor wasn't a dead giveaway, eventually getting to this long set of stairs, with the end of it with this doorway to the black void, with no other way but jumping down. dropping in a body of red liquid with nothing but stars above you, with it resembling sort of a in the. No matter how much you walk in one direction, it leads to nowhere until you hear an echoey sound in the distance, with it sounding louder with each echo. And then all of a sudden, emergency signs start to appear in every direction you start to look in, with the loud alarm blaring, and then broken and crooked ladders start to emerge from the liquid around you. No matter how fast you run, it will always spawn next to you with a blink of an eye. This gives a look in Curly's mind that he really wasn't okay, probably leading him crashing the ship and paying the price for it. After running for a while, a bright yellow sun starts to emerge in the distance, making your camera forced to look at it. Blinding you and spawning you in a white void with a door not far in front of you, leading back to reality and to the cockpit where Jimmy waits for you.
You can't just make something up for this. It's not like those evals ever go anywhere when we get back.
We'll power through it. Have you been able to complete your mandated task as co-pilot efficiently and to your fullest capacity?
Let's see.
I'll just put good for that one. That's all of them. Done and done. How are things otherwise, off the record?
I like it. We're in control here.
Didn't think you ever take to being a fighter pilot as well as you have. What, with how you struggled back on Earth?
Sure. All I ever hear is how great of a leader you are. Honestly, it's kind of annoying. So what is it? How come it always seems like you're standing on the edge of a bridge with your feet in cement?
Lately, I've been thinking. Is this good enough? Should I just stay here because I've been successful at it? A good long-haul fighter captain.
And that's bad?
That's what I'm saying. It's not. But it's terrifying. I think, am I figured out? Is this all I'll ever be? Or do I take the risk and try something new? Even if I'm bad at it.
I guess I get it. You've reached the highest rung on this ladder, so now you're thinking you might be on the wrong ladder altogether. Still a long way down from the top, no matter how you look at it. Well, I'm still climbing and climbing.
Something like that. But hey, you know, I believe in you. Here, on Earth. Doesn't matter.
You should write that on the psych eval. Oh no, the big guys themselves. I guess it's my cue. I'll see you later.
Curly opens up with Jimmy on how he's bored out with his job, even if he's really good at it. I mean, a lot of people can relate to this, where it can make them feel unfulfilled with the jobs they lead today. Kind of reminds me how, like, Tyler the Creator in the Larry King Show, how he was getting bored of music by the time Wolf was released in.
So you got famous rapping.
Yeah.
But you're leaving the world of rap, but you've been successful in other areas.
Yeah, I mean...
You don't need rap anymore.
I'm talented enough to do other things, but I don't know, I'm pretty bored with it.
Hell, even Kumar says something like this in Harold and Kumar.
I mean, I really don't have a desire to go to med school.
But you have perfect MCAT scores.
Yeah, just because you're hung like a moose doesn't mean you gotta do porn.
You can also clearly tell in this scene that Jimmy is annoyed with Curly's success, even jealous with it, compared to his struggle life at home. The song that plays here is called Here on Earth, which is what Curly said earlier in the conversation. The song takes on a tone like it's coming to peace with itself, knowing what's to happen later in the story. But the conversation is cut short due to the company sending a fax and trying to read it. The game cuts us off. So far, when the game does this, it's usually to hide information from us, which there's nothing for us to do but leave for now. We then cut to us in a storage unit filled with boxes upon boxes with the logo on them named Dragon Breath. And after exploring a bit in this area, you can find Curly behind one of the steel shelves, and it'll disappear when looking at him. This is probably the biggest hint that this is a dream sequence, since there's also a TV at the end of the room with a couple of channels to watch. Those being an old cartoon, how the functions of employment work, a sun being sucked up by a black hole, a cartoon about atoms, footage of a slaughterhouse.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? A cartoon about ism, a video of a dancing skeleton, commercial for Dragon Breath's product, which happens to be Mouthwash, which cuts off to where we are now, looking at the thing the crew is shipping the whole time, Mouthwash.
This is...
Mouthwash?
Unfucking believable.
There's gotta be an ocean of this stuff in here. This room looks freaking endless.
This is what they'd have 5 people hauling for over a year? All of this for mouthwash?
The sugar content probably offsets any potential as a disinfectant.
Disinfectant? What are you? Let me see that. 14% ethanol. Ha!
I suppose we'll smell good at least.
That's right, kiddo. You can bet your ass on that.
What are you doing? Stop that!
Phooey. Oh, shut up. I'm just an old codger taking care of his dental hygiene. You hear that? That's the sound of 15 years of sobriety popping like a cyst. Glorious, magnificent, red-hot cyst. Good riddance and cheers to Captain Curly. Here, here.
Guess anyone could get seriously outblasted off this stuff.
Yeah, and kill you in the process.
This can't be real. There's no way.
Now we can go out in style. Daisuke, come here. Anyone ever teach you how to drink like a man?
So the gang finds out that they themselves are shipping mouthwash and are pretty pissed about it. Only with Swansea being the only one happy about it, because it turns out that the mouthwash they are shipping contains alcohol in it, with it being up to 14%. But I mean, most mouthwash do come with a little bit of alcohol in it, whether that be Scope or the other brand I can't remember. But the fact that they bring it up like they didn't know this is a known fact really implies that it's not legal to put alcohol in mouthwash in anymore, implying they found more suitable ways to do this. So at some point they did put a ban in doing this. I literally just emptied this out and put like gamer subs in it, which you can go buy right now using code JOETASTIC to get 10% off your order. The flavor I put in here is BBL. Let me see. I mean, it just tastes kind of just like BBL, except a bit more minty. I did wash these out with soap and everything. They can still kind of taste the mint. And Swansea just downing the bottle and really being giddy about it says a lot of who he was when younger. And that he is a recovered alcoholic of over 15 years. I mean, I get it. If you're just stranded in the middle of space, I would resort to drinking too, to be honest. He also refers to Curly as Captain again, showing that he doesn't see Jimmy as a captain. More of a big whiny brat that they just pleased to keep him from throwing a tantrum. But the only one who seems to be really distraught in all this is Anya. We get the task, break the news, when loading in a new flashback. And looking in your inventory, you can already get a hint on what it could be.
Surprise!
Surprise! Look at your face!
Gotcha!
Cheers.
Oh, wow. What's the occasion?
We only get one communal birthday party per trip, right? So we can have it whenever.
Only one person can really be surprise birthdayed per trip. We did Swansea last haul, remember?
No way! I can't believe I missed that.
You were next on the list, so congratulations. Hate to say it though, your duties have to extend even to your own birthday party.
You're the only one with clearance to make the cake. The recipe's there by the machine. Hop to it, Captain.
So this gives us time on how to break the news to the team by making a cake for our party. In order to make the cake, we have to go to this cookbook on the wall to get the codes that you need to input into this machine over here to get the ingredients. You can also find a water packet on the side to save some time. It's also good to tell you that on the ingredient book, it says not to drink any of the sink or shower water in the ship and to only consume the water packets, which makes you wonder how it's safe to use the water to bathe and clean yourself if it isn't safe to drink. Like, there has to be a lawsuit, right? You can also chat to the others to find out some interesting things about them, with Daisuke just being a little gerb.
Could you sneak in an extra packet of sweetener in there? Just kidding. Maybe? Nah, totally kidding. Unless...
Well, the others have a lot more to say.
Sorry for jumping you. This whole thing is corny. But, you know, it's kind of tradition now. I dare say I almost look forward to it.
Nothing. Yeah, no, I agree.
Jimmy finally has something positive to say. But of course, a bit of snide remark to go with it. It's like nothing he says can be positive, yeah? Does anyone even fucking like this guy? He's also the only one who knows something is up with Curly because they're best friends. You would notice if something was up with your best friend. Right? He mentioned as well when talking to him again that they used to have unrestricted sweetener packets and karaoke machines, but a violent incident happened where they had to restrict it, even banning it if the crew does a horrible job, which feels kind of demeaning, being treated like a pet, you know?
I think you need to use the code scanner. They're really getting a lot of mileage out of that thing, huh? You know how it is. Pony Express being either cheap or lazy. Usually both. No?
Interacting with Anya, she comments on how lazy and cheap Pony Express is for their work methods, making use of a code scanner for a lot of things, and the fact that the food pouches probably weren't safe to eat for some period of time.
Wasn't there some scandal about the ingredients in the Pony Express food dispenser sacks? Actually, let's not think about it.
You gonna use the Pony Express provided cake recipe? At least make it correctly. You should find the ingredients and recipe in the kitchen.
Swansea really likes that cake. Don't tell anyone.
Swansea, all he has to say is he just wants a school cafeteria cake. After making the cake, it's finally time to celebrate the party with our co-workers.
You gotta make a speech. Can't argue with that. Speech! Speech! Speech!
Go on.
Hey. What's wrong?
That's all it said on the report from management. We will receive the paycheck for this delivery. I don't know any more than that.
Pony Express finally kicked the bucket, huh? What a joke. And we're the punchline?
I don't have any savings. They can't just do this, right?
Pony Express was one of the last main crew freighter companies. The writing's been on the wall for a long time.
When did they tell you?
Earlier this week, I was instructed to wait until we're closer to the haul destination. But I can't keep something like this from you all.
So I guess you got what you wanted. Without the guilt.
Jim, if I had known.
If I can go back to my, how'd you put it? Struggle of a life? Anya never got to medical school because she's... well, let's be real. And how many employment years Swansea got left in him? Daisuke will be fine. Mommy and Daddy have him covered. So there's that at least. But you... headed for big and better, right?
I'm just working on my life being a place I don't have to fucking escape. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Nothing more.
We're the ones trying to escape. Leave the dirt behind now that your boots are clean.
That's not what I meant.
It is what you meant. You couldn't frame it to yourself in a way that kept you as the hero. Abandon the crew, but remain the model captain.
Unbelievable.
What am I supposed to do?
That sounds like a fucking cake, huh? Props to the Twilight crews of the Tulper. Props to our captain and his new prospects.
With the news of Pony Express going out of business, Jimmy lets out all of his anger out and uses the news as an excuse to berate and insult the people around him, calling them dumb, old, or spoiled, with Curly being his main focus. He's just being an asshole to Curly for something he had no control over, or nothing he could have done to prevent this. He even uses the private conversation that he and Curly had to amplify his argument. It doesn't even seem like he's directly attacking him. It just seems like he's projecting his feelings onto him because he wants to leave behind the crew for bigger and better. The room just falls dead silent, no one wanting to talk. The track that plays here is, and there it is. Where it feels like something bad is going to happen, even though the bad news that Curly told everyone is already out, with the whispers, the horn being dragged out, and even playing a low tone. And you can faintly hear some distorted baby crying in the track, kind of like what we heard in the very beginning of the game when running from the cockpit, with no one wanting to talk or look at Curly except for Jimmy. All there is to do is cut the cake. We cut back to today, where we are awoken by the sound of Curly's hollering in pain echoing throughout the halls, which Jimmy will not go back to sleep to. Daisuke is just built different though, since he's still sleeping like a little baby. When walking towards the medical room, making a quick pit stop in the lounge area, we will find Daisuke's employee car, which is just burnt and all sorts of messed up. I mean, it does make sense why we're finding these employee cards all over the place, primarily Daisuke and Anya's, considering they really just have no more use, since they are stranded in the middle of space. When checking in on Curly, we see we only have 4 bottles of painkillers left. When trying to give Curly his meds, Jimmy uses his brain for something useful for once.
I don't know if he's been giving his medicine.
We have to find Anya to make sure she didn't give Curly any meds yet, since we don't want him to overdose on painkillers. She is nowhere to be found except the last place you think to check. The cockpit, with Swansea in the cockpit with her.
No, I understand completely. That's how it has to be.
Oh, it's you.
Jimmy, not able to sleep either.
It's nighttime. Why are you talking this late? Anya, are you crying?
No, don't worry, I'm okay.
We all need to keep it together.
Oh, I'm keeping it together. Don't you worry, Captain.
He's making noises again. Did you give him his meds before, Anya?
No. It's just slipped my mind. I'm sorry,
I'll do it.
No, really. I'm perfectly okay.
I said I'll do it.
Swansea definitely told Anya something that she was really distraught over to the point of crying. And with Swansea seeming a lot more hostile with Jimmy, being really sarcastic and giving backhanded responses when talking to Jimmy. But we do eventually find out that Anya did not give Curly his meds. And Jimmy does what he does best and be an inconsiderate asshole. Before you leave, you can get 2 more interactions from Swansea and Anya, with Anya wondering if Pony Express have noticed by now of them being missing and not responding to them.
I wonder if they've even noticed we're missing. Back at headquarters. It'd take a rescue ship so long to get here.
Might be another freighter they could divert to try and find us. It's not inconceivable.
I suppose you're right.
And Jimmy noticing that Swansea is really holding on to the axe.
Are you getting a lot of use out of that right now?
Force of habit. Don't overthink it.
Walking over to feed Curly the pills, we have Jimmy talk to him again.
Come on, stop with the noise. Damn it. I know what everyone is thinking, the way they look at me. What would I even say? And then, what would she do? Damn it! Here we are now, me in the driver's seat. Thanks for that. Open up. I hope these make you feel fucking better.
Jimmy seems to be frustrated and overwhelmed with the new responsibility on his shoulders being the captain, with him struggling on how to go about this scene since he's starting to realize that the rest of the crew don't really see him as the captain. The only time they have it is to let him have his way, or sarcastically call him the captain. And the way he goes about exerting out his anger is being his friend. How did these two become fucking friends? Like, this is what you do to your best friend when he's in a critical state like this? Really?
We should have some.
It's mediocre at best. Obviously.
Sometimes you can only get the subpar stuff. That's what makes the really good stuff, well, good, right?
Why bother?
Hey, we all tried to escape. Didn't work for any of us. I thought many times, is this what peace feels like? And is it good enough? If I'm being real, it certainly isn't the best. So all I can do is try to make my life one. I'm not trying to run from all the time. Sometimes I'll be promoted, buy a house, fall in love. But other times, I'll just have some awful fucking cake with my friend. Right now, this sounds pretty brilliant, yeah? So if you do the honors.
Right. Well, let me go find a knife.
We go through another hallucination sequence where Jimmy tries to reason with himself on what Curly was trying to say when having that meltdown back at the party, and playing out this scene in his head to where how things should have gone on with the party, with him trying to convince himself that none of them were the bad guy in this situation. Even saying the same thing about making a life he's not trying to run from, but with this conversation ending with Curly wanting Jimmy to go find a knife. Every other path in the lounge, except for one, is blocked off from the mountains of empty mouthwash bottles, and the screen in the lounge completely cracked with the warning message from Curly's hallucination. No matter where you go, all paths lead to the cockpit of the ship, with the only sharp object being there is an axe. And when grabbing this axe, eyes will start to stare at you through the screens of the cockpit. Most likely how Jimmy feels with all the eyes on him and only on him with his new role as captain. When walking back, you'll hear eerie sounds, but when getting closer to the lounge, we start to hear a calming atmospheric tone that gets louder and louder with every step you take. The music that plays actually is just the Dragon Breath mouthwashing commercial jingle, just all slowed down and distorted. It will continue to get louder until you open the door back up to the lounge with a big eyeball staring at you, with Curly laying out himself on the table waiting for you. You can't progress with the story unless you use the axe to cut into Jimmy's cake. It's been 4 months with the crew still stuck on the tool par with no luck. When walking out, you can see Daisuke lying on the floor, mostly drunk since he has a bottle of mouthwash on him.
How many have you had? Those will kill you before...
Before anything else, I know my mom found this in her shirt for me. Such a slacker, she said. I don't know. I just never knew what I wanted to be. Never was good at anything. Total screw up.
We're not done yet, Daisuke.
I just hope she doesn't blame herself. Please just take it. I don't want to look at this stuff anymore. I want to be alone if that's okay. Sorry.
Daisuke is looking back on when his mom made him get this job, displeased with his life. But we all have been in Daisuke's position before. Not knowing what to do in life after high school happens to a lot of young adults and teens, and can take a while to figure out what they want to do in life, some sooner than others. But it's sad to know that Daisuke probably won't be able to have that future since he's stuck here with a bunch of people, one of them being a dying corpse. You take the mouthwashing for him so he can stop drinking this putrid thing, and going upstairs to go check up on the rest of the crew, where we see Swansea in a great mood.
There's a big man himself, Jimbo. Listen. This is the best part. Oh.
You're a mess, Swansea.
It'll be all sad motherfuckers off the toll par in the Skywood Diamonds. Captain Jimmy's pulling the plug on the party before the last call.
He's completely washed, which isn't a good thing since he has an axe on him. You also wonder where Daisuke is.
Where'd that kid run off to? He's gotta work on his stamina. Party's over here. Well.
But brushes it off. It's really interesting how Daisuke and Swansea's roles switch in this chapter because of the mouthwashing they drink, where Daisuke becomes sad and depressed, remembering all the bad things back at home, while Swansea becomes the opposite, where he is happy as can be without a care in the world. It's just crazy how the discovery of this dental product has changed the dynamic of this crew by so much. When walking around, you can see the Polle statue has been destroyed, and by what Jim has to say about it. It's a no-brainer that Jimmy destroyed the Polle statue, which is also a surprise since he loves to fuck cartoon horses. You can also find Swansea's employee card in a broken vending machine, which the machine itself is more busted up than the one next to it. We then finally talk to Anya.
Anya.
Oh, you startled me.
Sorry.
No worries.
You thinking about drinking that too?
Honestly, yeah. It'd probably just make me feel sick. Wouldn't fix anything. As much as I'd like it to.
Right.
Hey, I was thinking... Did you know that not all the medicine aboard was in my office? We store some in a storage locker in the hallway.
Why haven't you brought this up earlier?
It was foamed up. I didn't think it was possible to reach it. But I've been estimating the position of the foam. I think the medicine depot locker isn't too far into the mass of it. So we could try and break it down.
One strike too many on a weak spot. We'll all get sucked into space.
I think it's worth the risk.
If nothing else, it's an excuse to get Swansea to hand over the axe.
Even when Anya tries to be helpful, Jimmy can't help but be a dickhead. It's actually crazy how much of a shitty captain Jimmy is. Also the fact that Anya seems kind of one-dimensional in this scene, which seems pretty out of character with us already seeing more interesting scenes of her in the past. But the main focus right now is to get Swansea to hand over the axe, considering that drunk people with weapons like that is pretty dangerous, I would say. Walking over to him, you can see the radio on the couch with him blasting it all night.
Jimbo, El Capitan, the man with the plan.
You done? I need that.
This whole thing, this was entrusted to me by our previous tragically inclined leader. Big responsibility. But you know all about that, huh?
I'm gonna try and get more painkillers. Do something useful, you know?
Oh, I heard all about it. You're looking to pull the plug on this party early.
I'm trying to save us.
Take matters into your own hands, eh? Be my guest. Think I already feel the ship rubber-tubbling through space again. Ha! Back to the future.
Swansea seems to really be sarcastically aggressive towards Jimmy. Ever since he and Anya had that talk in the cockpit that night, he's been like this. He wedges the axe into the screen, making it crack, pretty much showing how the crew is starting to crack. And it's pretty interesting to me that Jimmy's hallucination pretty much foreshadowed this screen being cracked. But anyways, picking it up and going over to the medicine cabinet and using the axe, you find more painkillers with a stronger kick to it, with it being 500 milligrams. You also find some... Oh, fuck, you'd say this shit. Isopropyl alcohol. When taking what you need, Anya stands right next to you to congratulate you.
Oh wow, Jim. You did it.
Yeah, it actually wasn't that hard once I figured it out.
Amazing. Really?
Sure.
I hate to ask you again, but could you give Curly his painkillers? It still just makes me so nauseous.
You're not serious. Look, I've entertained your sentimentality up until now, but I'm actually trying to fix things, Anya. I'm getting us through this.
It's
fine, the code scanner. Fix the door code. Get the axe. Chop up the foam, but not too much. And best of all, give Curly his fucking medicine. But I'm bearing it. I have to. Because the captain has to take fucking responsibility on this goddamn ship.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Go make sure Daisuke doesn't choke on his own vomit.
No, I can't.
I'll take care of it, Anya. I always do.
Jimmy completely loses it with Anya, chastising her and belittling her, all because she wanted some help. Jimmy has become more and more unlikable to the point where I'm genuinely starting to hate playing as this guy. We then have to go give Curly his fucking meds, and Jimmy starts to sympathize with Curly and tries to reassure him.
I don't think I understood the pressure you were under before. Fuck. And you tried to tell me. Our worst moments don't make us monsters, huh? You were a good captain, Curly. And you'll be one again. I'll get us both through this.
From Curly's point of view, your best friend comes in venting about some shit and then beats the ever-loving shit out of you. And then later he comes in to comfort you. You just wonder what the fuck is going on there. You just have to, like, what is this man doing?
Jimmy, get the fuck out of here.
We then cut to what seems to be the future of what's happening, because Jimmy locks the door to the cockpit and hears Swansea banging ferociously on the door, screaming. Looking around, you can grab a broken pipe to place in the door.
You can't hide.
But when opening your inventory, you find something that is censored by the game with the description, "My hands won't stop shaking." Something went down where Swansea went berserk and wants to kill Jimmy. You could also find some rope in the locker, and the whole time Swansea is yelling at Jimmy.
I'm gonna chop you into 20 fucking pieces.
You doing okay?
Yeah. Can't sleep.
I know how that is. I just toss and turn. Or stare at the ceiling all night.
I actually kind of like the nighttime window screen, if you can believe it. So I just come and look at it sometimes. If you look really, really close, you can see there's a dead pixel right up there in the upper right corner.
That's so? Nope, don't see it.
In the back of my mind, it's always there.
Now I'll go bonkers looking for it. Cheers. I don't think it ruins the illusion though. It's peaceful. But maybe I'm just used to looking at the bigger picture.
How many days of transport do we have left?
Let's see. Off the top of my head, around 237 days. Just under
8 months. Hey. Why do you think the Pony Express put a lock on the medical room door, but not in the sleeping quarters?
I suppose for the same reason they put a lock on the cockpit. Safety.
We are now starting to cut from the past, present, and future when it comes to the story. Where here, we cut back to the past, where we see Curly and Anya talking alone at night about the nighttime window screen, where you can see a dead pixel. But when Curly can't see it and just laughs it off, Anya switches into a more professional or more a monotone mode with Curly, asking why didn't Pody Express install locks in the bedrooms, but in the cockpit and medical room, with this response receiving an answer to the word safety. Safety is the reason Curly gives, and everything just goes quiet after that word has been spluttered out. I think I've started to notice when playing this game is the fact that when we're in Curly's point of view, Anya seems to be a lot more lively, like there's more to her than what we see. She isn't just like the shy, quiet type, there's like more depth with her character. But when it comes to Jimmy's point of view, she's a blank slate, like there's nothing more to her character. Going back to the present yet again and taking any step forward, Daisuke comes in screaming, needing our help.
Jimmy, it's a total emergency.
Calm down. What is it?
Anya's stuck in medical. The door won't open. What if she runs out of something?
Right. Let's go have a look.
Daisuke tells us that Anya is stuck in medical and have no way of getting out. We go over to medical to see what we can do, but...
Anya! I brought Jimmy! We're here to rescue you! Don't worry. Don't panic.
Hey, heard the lock's broken. Hey, Anya. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Jimmy.
The rest of our medicine stash is in there too. Damn, this could be bad. Did you try and really put your back into it?
Any wrenches laying around? How heavy is the med kit?
Anya, is the door stuck?
No.
Huh? What do you mean?
Look, we're all stressed. But you can't go breaking down at every little hardship. Open the damn door.
You were right. You were right all along. I should have done this from the beginning. I always believed our worst moments didn't define us. Didn't make us beyond repair. You think I wanted this either? Make no mistake, this isn't my worst moment. Far from it. It's the best one I'll ever make.
Open the door.
I'll take care of it.
Anya, what does that mean?
Curly is still in there with her, right?
Yeah? You don't think...
Daisuke, you and Swansea know the internals of the ship better than anyone. There's absolutely no other way into medical?
Well... Swansea said it was strictly off limits. Like, super mega not allowed, above all else.
Utility room.
That busted vent in there loops into medical. But I mean, technically a person could totally fit through it.
If that's the only way, we'll make it work. You listening, Anya? Fine. Come on, Daisuke.
Anya has locked herself in medical with no intentions to open it for us. But of course, Jamie doesn't help at all with comforting Anya because it's clear that she is going through something, chastising her for breaking down and not helping her calm down, with her most likely going to kill Curly and putting her out of this misery. Even quoting Jimmy saying she'll take care of it. With Jimmy being useless, we have to find another way in, with Daisuke mentioning the only other way of getting in is the broken vent in utility. So we make our way to utility to hope to reason with Swansea. Daisuke walking behind you like a weeping angel.
Swansea! We need your help! I know you said utility was dangerous, but
I'm good right here, fellas. You know, I'm not letting you in there. Off limits!
Look, if there's any possibility.
Jimbo, letting you scratch at that foam wall would be useless. You'd only tear this goddamn ship a new asshole. Nothing to be done about it. Bad luck. Tail missed the donkey.
But Swansea, this could be really bad. Just hear us out.
We're God's hand-picked favorites on this here planet, I reckon. Means we get to name it. So let's hear it for Wake Rock. Whatever's going on anywhere else ain't my problem, since I'm the happiest man Wake Rock has ever seen.
Let's just go, Daisuke. There's no point with him.
Swansea is way beyond slosh, clearly drinking himself deaf and completely has lost it with no hope of negotiating, and with it cutting.
Don't do anything. Stop. I can fix this.
Why do you keep fucking saying that? Are you hearing yourself?
Sorry.
We still have disinfectant, right? One from the extra medical stash. Get it. Now.
The cocktail? The
cocktail? What are you blabbering about?
That was your fault. You never would have... I had no choice.
You. Useless! You goddamn fucking idiot! There has to be something else.
Daisuke laying on the floor bleeding out. A lot has been taken out of context right now, but all we know for sure is that the vent plan didn't work out as well as us having to find disinfectant for Daisuke. Walking into medical, you see this glitch visual covering up Curly. The game is now making new tactics in hiding information from us, with something happening here with the game not wanting us to find out yet, with the warning screen appearing yet again. We can also see that Swansea is already looking in medical.
I'm already looking in here. At least try to make yourself useful. God damn it!
Walking around, you can't find anything until we run into a tombstone with the black light symbol on it. If you ignore this and try to go to the cockpit, the game stops you from proceeding and flashes the words, "Take responsibility." When turning on your black light, the cargo hold is open, with blood being on the floor, with the only other way to see it is with the black light. You start to walk down an endless staircase from the hit game Super Mario 64 until the words "Take responsibility" flashes yet again, and the place around us warps with stairs everywhere and a couple of Pony Express logos everywhere. We also hear Polle in the distance, but something doesn't seem right. With us being teleported again by the words "Be quiet" being flashed up and put in a maze, with every footstep we take making a loud metal banging noise. You can hear a loud screeching noise in the distance. You can also see a note next to you that reads,
"The blind beast, aimless and restless. You can't run from it."
It's your job to get to the end of the maze without alerting whatever is in here. Running makes your already loud footsteps louder, attracting the creature towards you and giving you a close look. With it being this disfigured horse with no eyes and a long neck that can only be seen by the blacklight. You most likely would not have seen this thing on your first playthrough, since most people just stayed quiet, not attracting to the monster. On your way through the maze, these big things of hair, or whatever it is, I have no idea what they are. We get to the end of the maze where the Polle statue is there with a bottle of mouthwash. Picking it up takes us back to Daisuke.
I'm sorry. I messed up.
Don't try to talk.
With nothing going to convince Swansea, Jimmy has a plan.
I think the van utility connects to medical. But you heard what he said. Going in there now, it's too unstable. Trying to break the foam could risk the air seal. I just don't want to fuck up again, like I did before.
You heard Anya. I wouldn't put it past her to do something extreme right now. You and me, Daisuke. We can save Curly, yeah? Swansea won't help, so we'll figure it out ourselves.
Right. Alright, yeah. We got this. But even before the foam, how do we even get the door to utility open? Swansea's been practically camping in front of the door, and he has the key.
I have an idea. You're gonna have to trust me. We need to knock him out.
You're gonna fight him?
No.
Even he has to have his limits when it comes to booze. We make him pass out. Simple, safe, might not even realize we did anything after the fact. There's a recipe for a mocktail in the kitchen. We can follow the steps but use different ingredients to add kick to it. Come on.
The fact that he talks about a spiked mocktail that knocks people out so casually like that really disturbs me. What he also says about it too, the fact that he might not even realize we did anything after the fact, just really screams a lot of red flags. Jimmy does not seem like a really good person, I'm gonna be honest. Reading the recipe, we need to use a bottle of mouthwash and I'm not repeating that again. Which is such a dangerous substance to use for this since it states that it's potentially deadly to ingest. And Jimmy taking that risk is insane behavior considering the consequences that can happen. But taking a little detour to the Polle statue, you can find Jimmy's employee card in the hat of Polle. And yeah, that's Jimmy, alright. But the fact that his employee card is at the Polle statue just further confirms that Jimmy is the one responsible for breaking the statue. Mixing the two liquids together, we still need a packet of sweetener to mask taste, and the machine that produces the packs is blocked in the phone. So we'll have to find another way of getting some.
We're out of sweetener.
Any ideas?
I might have accidentally at some point mistakenly placed a few packets before. By accident.
Right.
I can take a look around my stuff. It could be somewhere around there. Also, totally somewhere else. Who knows? Anything's possible. The crush sure jumbled everything up.
Looking at Daisuke's stuff, the cheeky little grub was hiding an extra sweetener packet, even though he needs another packet for it to be used. I guess he was just gonna dry scoop the shit out of that thing, man. After making the drink, we take it to Swansea, who still looks like shit, has some things to say about it.
You taking to teach my intern now? I've personally tried to educate based off years of experience. But that's just me, Captain. The fuck is that?
Look, we need to keep working together.
If this is how I can get us through this without us being at each other's necks all the time, then...
Yeah. Give it here.
We gonna freestyle the recipe?
Yeah, I can tell you had a hand in this monstrosity, kid. You ain't no mixologist. Sure as hell ain't no mechanic either.
Haha.
You never should have came here. Who the fuck even decided to let you board, huh? Stick the idiot with a bunch of sad sack adults. See what he learns, eh? Bootstraps and all that. What a load of horse shit. You think it's all going somewhere, but every failure leaves you a little more mangled than before. Older, uglier, meaner, smarter in a worse way.
Wallowing doesn't suit you, Swansea.
I suppose you think we should all be acting like you. Our hard-working, esteemed captain. I say take a load off before the sun finally sets on this party. May we never go to hell, but always be on our way.
Swansea falls to the ground with his key on the floor.
Is he still breathing? He practically bounced off the ground.
He'll be fine. His tolerance has to be through the roof by now. Probably wake up with a massive headache.
Oh man, he's gonna be so mad. I'll never get a good reference now. Ugh.
When trying to open the door, Daisuke starts to second guess if they should even do this when...
Captain, you sure about this? Maybe we could talk with Swansea when he's cleared up a bit later? He's just really into workplace safety and stuff sometimes, you know? Which is like totally cool and stuff, I think. He taught me.
It's time to be brave, Daisuke. Curly and Anya are counting on us. Wait.
Whoa, it's like barely phoned up at all. Hey, it's all those things. I've never been inside one. What are they called again?
Biostasis pods.
Oh yeah, these things are far out. Totally sci-fi. Ooh, it looks like this one still works. How long could this thing even keep you frozen?
20 fucking years.
I can't believe Swansea managed to clear up all the foam from here.
He didn't.
What?
Think about it. Swansea never let you work with him on breaking the utility room foam wall, right?
No, it needed to be handled delicately. He said I have way too much athletic strength in my arms. It was torn right through the foam. I was like, damn, makes total sense. Bummer. So I've been in charge of the kitchen instead. He said it's next level critical to keep stock and organize every day. Had me double, triple, quadruple check everything like all the time.
Right, of course. And he never told you he'd gone in here?
No, but look how busy he must have been.
There was never any foam here. And Swansea has known the whole damn time. Just taking a load off before the sun finally sets on this party? Huh? That boozed up bastard has been biding his time until he can save himself.
Would getting in the pod really mean you'd get rescued?
20 years more of a chance to get found. I'd take those odds over our current situation. Not like this, though. Not by lying through my teeth while waiting for everyone else to die.
No, man. That can't be right. I'm sure there's a reason. We'll ask him about it when he wakes up.
We'll deal with him after. Right now, we have a job to finish.
And the vent looks like it's still in one piece. Whoa, check out these sparks. Just imagine how gnarly it looks on the inside.
It could be somewhat collapsed in places. You could make it through. We need to try.
Swansea said it's not safe. I knew he forgot to tell us about the pot, but he knows like everything about this kind of stuff. Maybe we should wait for him to wake back up.
You said you could handle it. Swansea taught you well, right? Time to prove it. He'll be impressed when he wakes up. Proud. He'll understand why we had to do this. Then he can explain himself.
You think so?
Daisuke, everyone's counting on you. Captain's orders.
Yeah, I got this. Okay, here we go.
Jimmy is manipulating so hard right now in this scene, trying to get him to go in that vent, saying things like, everyone is counting on you, or captain's orders. He's just trying to get him to go in the vent instead of him going in himself. But also with Swansea bidding his time with the last cryopod that works, waiting for the right moment to use it. Or so he thought.
Look at you doing.
We open with this flashback chapter with the prompt, find the gun.
I mean, I would too, of how shit this team has been.
Looking everywhere, you won't be able to find it until you get to the cockpit, where you'll find Anya on her knees.
For fuck's sake. Where is it? Us being let go isn't a reason to hurt yourself. Anya, as our nurse, you never got the psych evals. I should have thought of that. You could have come to me if you were feeling stress.
What would you have done?
Anything. Anything. You, the crew, are all my responsibility. I told you so over and over, yeah?
I'm not gonna hurt myself. You know the gun is in a safety case I can't open. But I hid the case itself.
Tell me where it is. None of this has to be on our performance log. We'll figure this out together.
I'm pregnant.
You're... what? Who would you...
Captain, I told you.
Listen to me. We can fix this. I've known him for a long time. I'll talk to him.
I know you'd never give me the gun to protect myself, so the least I can do is make sure he never gets it either.
It's funny how when we're looking for Anya as Jimmy, we find her in the cockpit, just like we find her in the cockpit as Curly. It's revealed that Anya is pregnant, which explains why she's the only one not drinking the mouthwash, since the alcohol in it would upset her, and why she wasn't comfortable with giving Curly his meds, since you tend to get more nauseous with little things when while pregnant. And since she didn't get any psych evals to see if she was okay, it was probably making her more stressed, increasing her anxiety, and her depression worsening with Jimmy verbally abusing her, which was not helping. But when asking about it, Anya has already told us. It was the scene at the nighttime screen. She was asking about the time of its delivery, how much they had left, considering it takes 9 months for a baby to be born. And having a baby in the circumstance they are having it in is a pretty shit place to have it. But when asking about who the father is, Curly already knows who they are. Before leaving, you can look at the computer with a fax talking about the asteroid that we're going to hit, and the game cuts us off when leaving the room. With coming back to the present, now of Daisuke looking worse than before.
The bleeding won't stop. Just try and stay still, Daisuke. I need a second to think. We can fix this.
Hey kid, you hear me? Daisuke.
Hey, stop. Don't move.
It's alright, Daisuke. Calm down. This line of work. You can never have become like miserable old Swansea. What a tragedy. Decades of hauling ass for Pony Express. Big mighty bruiser with all his shiny tools. This is where it got me. The good life, huh? I thought you were dumber than a can of paint. Always just chewing my ear off about nothing. Useless ray of goddamn sunshine. Not an A student, career workhorse, or force of ambition. Just a damn good kid trying his best. You could have taught an old fool like me a lot. Close your eyes, Daisuke.
You monster. I could have fixed him, Swansea. I have to do everything myself. Why can't any of you just give me some time to fucking think?
How do you still not understand? It's over. End of the fucking line. You won't suffer one more second because of your delusions.
Unbelievable. Stop pretending. I know all about your plan, Swansea. I went to utility. I saw what you've been hiding down there. Sneaking around with that axe. Telling Anya who knows what. Now this? You're making sure you're the one who gets inside that cryopod.
Ha! I sure did talk to Anya, but it was her telling me all sorts of things instead, wasn't it? Shouldn't a captain go down with this ship? Not that it matters anymore. I ain't got no place to be. I got everything I could ever want right here on this ship. So go ahead and get in that pod. If you ever get around, you can tell them whatever fucking story you like. You've earned it.
With Daisuke now dead on the floor, there's nothing left. No happiness, no joy, no way of getting out. With Swansea calling out Jimmy on his bullshit. He's fed up with it, with the warning sign glowing bright red on our crew members showing the end is near.
Real quick, I want to bring up the relevancy of Swansea's name since it has a lot of implications in this scene. If you haven't noticed in Swansea's name, you can spell out the word swan, a beautiful bird with white luscious feathers. Now if you don't know, swans are known for killing off their young if they're too injured or sick to move on, with the parents ending their suffering, which I think is a little cute detail that they did with this game.
The fact that he tells Jimmy, hell, even dares him to get in the pod and tell whatever story he likes when getting found, shows that the pod was meant for Daisuke, who didn't even belong here to begin with. The conclusion I came to this was obvious hints that Swansea did kind of care for the kid, saying he shouldn't even be here. Also hence why Anya was crying when Swansea and her were talking. She was making the sacrifice to help Daisuke. After that really fucked up scene, we get the prompt to get the gun, with it being in red. Kinda how when Jimmy goes through his hallucinations, our cursor and prompts are red, meaning this isn't the game telling us to get the gun. It's Jimmy. We go into medical, and when opening the door, we find Anya's corpse sitting right next to Curly, who is surprisingly still alive. There are empty pill bottles next to Anya. She overdosed on painkillers, which calls back to what Jimmy says earlier.
Pain is how we know we're still living.
She killed her pain. When looking at the case, it requires a code where you can find it in the cockpit. But when walking to the cockpit, if you walk into the utility room, you can find the last ID card. Curly's, which is the most damaged out of them all, with blood on it. He's the only one that we find that doesn't have a face on it. For whatever reason, the game is hiding his face from us, not wanting to know what it looks like just yet. Getting to the cockpit and finding the code, we unlock the case and take the gun. Curly laughs at you because he completely has lost it. And for good reason too, since not only did Jimmy already knew where the gun was despite Anya hiding it, and the fact that Jimmy just completely unacknowledged Anya's death by walking by her body just to get the gun to save himself. He believed there was still good in his best friend, but for him to see the hard truth that he never was. The gun you get is a Matiba auto revolver, which is my favorite gun of all time. And the description says, Pony Express personal protection weapon, issued to captains in case of unrest amongst the crew. Meaning that Pony Express does hire anyone off the street and had incidents where they need to equip the freighter halls with guns. Hell, even Jimmy told us about these violent interactions. It just goes to show that Pony Express are just as bad as the people they hire. You can't fire the gun just yet, because when getting the gun and leaving the medical bay... Jimmy! We are on the day when Curly crashes the ship, and we see Anya on her knees in medical.
I told him.
Anya, you should have waited for me. What did he say?
Nothing that makes any difference.
Did he seem angry? Where did he go?
He just walked away. Curly, I don't want him in here anymore.
Hold on. Fuck. Just wait. I need to find him. Everything's gonna be okay.
Anya has already told the father about the baby, with her not wanting them here. With Curly trying to figure out what's the next move, we go off to find the father, which turns out to be...
Jim, I can fix this.
What do you think will happen when we get back?
We can figure all of this out. You and me.
All I ever hear about is how great of a leader you are. God, it's so annoying. Now, what do you think will happen when we get back?
We'll fix this together.
Everything you and I worked for in our lives, accomplishments, changes, none of it will matter.
You've gone through difficult situations before. This time won't be any different. Work through it, one day at a time.
It's not just me, is it? You were supposed to be the one who had everything under control. You said so yourself. The ship, this crew, everything that happened here. This was your responsibility, Captain. That is what you'll be hearing the rest of your life. Or, this can all be remembered as a tragedy. Despite what must have been the best efforts of its acclaimed captain, the Tolpar crew was never found. No one survived to tell the tale.
Jimmy is the one responsible for Anya's pregnancy. And what we know is that it wasn't consensual. With Curly saying, I can fix this, you and I can fix this, we can fix this. But what's done is done. Nothing can be fixed. Just like nothing could have been done for Daisuke. With Jimmy saying the same thing. But when we think that wasn't the lowest Jimmy could go, he manipulates Curry into thinking it's his fault that this happened, that he should have things under control. He's not even thinking about what he did to Anya, just about what will happen to him if the company or the press finds out, which is why he was so quiet when Daisuke brought it up.
It also gives us a detail on why Anya was so scared and shaky when Swansea started drinking the mouthwash. He was the last dependable man on the ship protecting her from Jimmy. This is also the first time you see Curly's face throughout the whole game, which the game itself goes out of its way to hide from you.
You're standing at the top. Feet in cement. I get it now. Right?
Right?
I'll take care of it.
This conversation ends with Jimmy saying his infamous saying, I'll take care of it. The tool parts start to go in emergency mode with alarms going off. Running to the cockpit, you see Jimmy sitting outside the cockpit.
Jim, tell me you didn't. I should have. I didn't. What the fuck did you do?
Curly runs to the cockpit and tries to redirect the ship with it being too late. It was never Curly who caused the ship to crash. It was Jimmy. Jimmy blamed on Curly so he wouldn't take any responsibility. It even worked out for him that he lost the ability to talk so he couldn't say his side of the story or move on to write what happened. The fact as well he was beating him for it, that he did his behavior is insane behavior! We open this chapter with us holding Curly, and we take him to the lounge where everyone else is waiting. Okay, now this is starting to feel like a puppet combo game right now, because this dude Jimmy decided to drag everyone's corpse to play dollhouse with.
Happy birthday, Captain! This rocks! Here. To Captain Jimbo.
Come on. You have to give us beat.
Go on. Have at it. You better make it good. Hell yeah.
Aw, Captain. Captain Jimmy.
We take the knife and cut into Curly's red leg, making it slow and long, solid into the bone without ever hearing the cracking crunch of it passing it around for everyone to eat. Curly cries and screams only for Jimmy to hear. Curly is Jimmy's cake.
A lot of people struggle to put food on their plates. That wasn't enough. Right, Captain? The lowest rung of your ladder is our highest. Until it was all swept from under your feet. Life isn't even worth living at the same level as us. But I forgive you. All of us do. I won't give up on you, even like this. I believe in you. We're going to make it through this. Sometimes we thrive, travel in the endless reaches of space. But other times we just have to accept days like these. You taught me that, Curly. Let's eat. Let's survive.
There is nothing left of Jimmy that can be considered a human being. He is far gone from being anywhere near redeemable.
Curly really is the saddest character you have to feel bad for in this game. He gets manipulated into thinking it's his fault for Jimmy raping Anya. He faces the consequences of Jimmy's actions for crashing the ship. He gets beaten by his best friend for something that he did. He had to watch his crew slowly die. He even had to watch one of them slowly die from painkillers. And worst of all, he had his leg cut off for Jimmy to eat. Where does it end, Jimmy? Huh? Haven't you done enough? When is enough for you, Jimmy? When is it enough for you, alright? Alright? Are you not satisfied? Listen to me, Jimmy! When do you take fucking responsibility?
We are then put into this long hallway with the text, "Take responsibility." When entering the room, we see Swansea's key dangling over the vent Daisuke was pulled out of. Jumping down, you are now inside the vents, where you also find Daisuke down here as well when walking for a while. Walking up to him, he walks away with the room switching to a red light. and a flower is left in Daisuke's place with blood around it. Walking some more, the lights switch off, and the only light that is shown is the vent with the sticky note saying, "No turning back now." If you do turn around, Daisuke's mangled face will start to appear, and the words "take responsibility" will flash, making you look at the vent again. The only way to get out of here is to literally walk backwards, avoiding responsibility. You'll know if you did it right when you hear this dong sound effect. When walking back, you'll see this Game Boy, weights, and a flower again on the floor of blood, as well as hands surrounding it. This is Daisuke's grave, or memorial, with Jimmy feeling awfully guilty about his part in getting Daisuke killed, since he was just as innocent as they can be, and was never supposed to be on the ship. After getting past that reminder, you see this red note saying the word again, responsibility, which you literally walk away from. This isn't Jimmy taking responsibility, this is him feeling guilty about what he has done and for himself. After a while, from walking away from literal responsibility, we get teleported into a different hallway, where we end up opening a door underneath us, falling down yet another hole. But this time, seeing all the Pony Express posters and hitting a door at the end, leading back to the medical room on its side. At the vent, it has all these axes wedged all around the entrance of the vent, and of course opening for you to crawl in. We're back in the vents, with this time actually crawling inside them.
Motion trigger. Circus gallery vent.
After crawling a while, you'll see the flower again, this time surrounded by wires and metal pipes. I'm pretty sure you can make a guess on what this is supposed to represent. Crawling away, an axe gets slammed into the wall in front of us. Going to the source where it was thrown from, we see Swansea tied up in a chair with a gun laying in front of him, with only one thing you can do. We get teleported to a graveyard with a memorial of Daisuke in the middle of the graveyard. With the gates closing and the death bell ringing, it begins. You'll hear footsteps running around, and find out who it is gets an axe in your face. It being Swansea. He'll try to sneak around to get the jump on you, and if you turn around too early, he'll just run and duck for cover, since it takes a while for you to shoot the gun. When you do it, it's on a cooldown for 3 to 5 seconds until you can shoot again, giving Swansea a chance to kill you. He will also not show himself if you start to camp in a corner, so man up, little guy, and try to bait him. If you manage to let Swansea kill you 10 times, you get the achievement, the good ending. If it wasn't obvious enough, it pretty much confirms that Jimmy is the bad guy in this story. You have to successfully shoot Swansea 3 times in order to defeat him. What is taking place right now is most likely what has happened during the fight between Swansea and Jimmy, with it obviously being played up in Jimmy's head as a dramatic event. When successfully shooting Swansea 3 times, he has something to say.
I have something to say. So shut the fuck up and listen. I spent 13 years half cut up to my eyeballs. Drunk, to put it mildly. And suddenly I saw it. A street light shining in my face. 500 gigawatts of the power of God. Vision of my bloated body found in some ditch. Scared me straight. So I got a collared shirt, mortgage, and a credit card. All the things that make a good man. I hoped I could raise my children to be better than their old man. I wanted to believe I was never one setback away from my worst self. But the truth is, discipline, drive, routine, the endless fucking desperation to get shit done. Loving wife, great kids, sobriety. I'm telling you, you Accomplishments I've been chasing all my life. Never felt as good as I expected when I crossed the finish line. So now that we're at the end, taking inventory, those nights spinning out of my head, sinking into the sofa, broken glass in my palms, bleeding dry, the funniest thing ever, old dogs laughing, snarling on a waterbed floor, mocking the moon for daring to show its face. All nausea, wreckage, vomit, and ugly cruelty. The only problem in the world, an empty bottle. Those were the best days of my life. Yeah, those were the best days of my life. I got nothing to hide, ready to face the music. I can see myself for what I am. But you, a cowardly, selfish motherfucker, and can't even see it. I should have been able to protect the kids. If I could have done one thing right, I wish it had been to give him one small chance off this goddamn rock.
Swansea, I'm going to fix everything. We're going to make it.
Fuck you.
Watching this scene for the first time really broke me. And I think the reasoning behind that is I see my dad in Swansea. A man who never really wanted to do the things he did in his life, but had to better himself. He didn't want to do nothing more than to hug his children. Nothing more than to see their smiles when they got out of school. He was a man who loved baseball, trains, but most of all his children.
Swansea was like that with Daisuke, and he finally admits it when looking death in the face. The song that plays during Swansea's speech is named Speech, Speech, Speech. The exact words Daisuke said at Curly's party. The way the music feels like acceptance and gets all distorted really makes the scene truly as good as it is. Which I gotta give a big shout out to the game's composer, Martin Halden, who did the whole soundtrack for this game and did an amazing job at it. The scene ends with Jimmy saying, "He can fix it." No. No, you can't, Jimmy. You never could. We see Swansea's lifeless body in the chair in front of us. Jimmy didn't even kill in self-defense as the hallucination he built up perceived it as. He murdered him with no regret as we just walk past him. Walking out from utility, we see Curly looking right at us underneath the floor, just like when he was looking at us from behind the shelves. After walking a while, he'll be going around in circles when Curly's eyeballs start to appear all around you, just like the eyes in the cake scene with Curly. You eventually spawn into something that reminds me of Sonic Dreams Collection, and walking out of the fleshy hole is Curly's throat, which is really reminding me of Sonic Dreams Collection. Holy shit. In the distance, you can see a glowing light with the looks of Curly there. Getting closer to it is Curly, with these valves wedged in him with TV displays all around him, broadcasting his digestive system. With you turning them, Curly will squelch, and as well turn the picture on the TV. There's also another TV that Curly is watching with a cartoon from the show Mighty Mouse, Mother Goose's Birthday Party.
'Tis old Mother Goose's birthday, we're giving her a party. A party, a party, a party for Mother Goose.
The baker man, he served the cake, it was a sight to see.
With giving us a prompt to take Curly's leg and feeding it to him with a video of a boy eating some meat. It is baffling to me how good this game is in making you feel uncomfortable with the most simplest ideas, like a boy eating meat from a Sunday roast. It's one of the many game's best strong suits. When feeding Curly, the description of the piece of leg states, "One day, he'll thank me." It's just sad to see Jimmy think he is still doing the right thing and hoping as to keep Curly alive makes any of this better. When feeding Curly his own leg, he will throw it up if he didn't switch the valves correctly getting the sequence right. It plays this soothing song with the TV behind us saying "Home" and having Jimmy on it. You can move Jimmy in the TV for a long time until you see Curly on fire, with it reminding me of an album cover Owinka showed me once.
I want to go home.
We are home.
Why don't you finish what you started? Don't worry, if anyone ever finds us, I'll still be playing the villain. You'll be the better man in the end, like you wanted. I could have stopped it. I'm taking responsibility.
No. We can both be heroes. We're a team. Just you and me. Used to be. What happened was an accident. We were trapped. I made a mistake, alright? I'm sorry. I'm so fucking sorry, Curly.
The only one taking responsibility in this is Curly, with him knowing that, yeah, he probably could have done a better job on keeping things from being the way that they turned out, but Jimmy, a cowardly, selfish motherfucker that he is too stupid to take any responsibility for what he's done. Saying what he did to Anya was a mistake. He doesn't feel bad that he raped Anya, only on the consequences that came after it. He doesn't see Anya as a person, just a plaything that he threw away when he got bored with, and that's what we face next. We are back in the vents with this big red flesh thing with eyes and lips in front of us with an ultrasound machine for us to use. When looking through it, we hear a heartbeat thumping sound when getting close to something, and that something is a baby horse we find inside. Finding it makes it disappear with the eyes starting to wake up, with us having to find it again. But finding the horse again, we see the baby emerge from the darkness of the flesh blob and comes for us.
All clean. Really gets rid of that bad taste in your mouth, huh? Through wreckage. Through silence. Wash it away. All day fire fresh.
We see our baby, with it being an amalgamation of Polle statues in the form of a centipede. It has no eyes, but it can see. This is the boss fight, and the name of the game is Survival. The monster called the Blind Beast will come rushing past you to throw you off your game. If you hear it go quiet and stop suddenly, that means it's going to attack you, and if it catches you, you'll have to go all the way back at the start. He'll try to get you into long hallways where you can't avoid him, so be smart and only go for short paths. After a while doing this game of mouse and cat, the blind beast will just straight up kill you, and you are taken to another hallway. While walking through it, employee ID cards start to fly around us and plastered all over the walls, except Anya's, who is covered by Jimmy's. Every time you find Jimmy's employee card, you'll find Anya's being covered up by him, and the other one is Curly's for whatever reason. His is nowhere to be found. The only time we see his employee card is by the cryopod. Walking some more, we start walking through piles of empty mouthwash bottles, and eventually walking up the stairs where the bottles are coming from, where we see
Pony Express is dead. And so are you.
I know what you think of this predicament of yours. Poor you. It's misunderstood.
Polly says.
Shut up. Curly tried his best. I did too, but he's the better man. I see that now. We can both still make it. I'm taking care of him. I'm taking responsibility. Curly. Captain. I'm so sorry. Yes. Yes, I do. I fucked up, but I can still make this right. Our worst moments don't have to make us...
Polle doesn't fall for Jimmy's crocodile tears and straight up calls him out on his bullshit, saying if he really is sorry, then why is he still concerned with Curly? Shouldn't he be taking responsibility and feeling bad for what he did to Anya?
She's the only one that didn't properly get a guilt hallucination. The only representation that she got was through Polle, which uses her colored text. And she was most likely sleeping next to the statue since it activates when anyone gets near it. Plus the fact that Jimmy destroyed it, making Anya get more jumpy. It's the whole reason why this whole thing started. Anya was the first thing we saw when Jimmy crashed the ship, and Jimmy still can't say he regrets for what he's done to her. He only cares about the baby. She didn't have a choice when it came to having a kid. It was forced upon her. She couldn't abort the baby even if she wanted to because of the lack of equipment they had. And when the time came where she decided to take her own life as well as her child, she had to make Curly watch her overdose on the one thing that was keeping this man sane. She couldn't give Curly his medicine since she didn't want to force something onto Curly's throat, like how Jimmy was with Curly's throat earlier. And by doing that, reminds her how Jimmy forced herself onto Anya. And finally, this guy has the gulge to fucking say what Anya says. Our worst moments don't make us monsters. Fuck you, Jimmy. Fuck you. Our time has come for judgment. With everyone dead, all because of Jimmy. One only saw the good in him and never saw the 0.0% till it was too late. One only saw the bad in Jimmy and accepted himself for who he was. One was blind by all of Jimmy's horrible acts and was put in a situation that he didn't need to be put in. And one saw everything that Jimmy had to offer, putting in a contact lens to see everything. With nothing else left to do, we carry Curly and walk him down a long hallway where we put him in the cryopod, foreshadowed by his employee ID placed near it.
It's okay, Curly. You're going to be okay. You always had my back. I ended up hurting you even though I was trying to save us. But now you'll survive. It's like you said, together we can fix anything. I'm just proud I got to be your friend and co-pilot, Captain. No one can hurt you now. You fixed it. Fixed it.
In the end, Jimmy shoots himself in the head. Even when he thinks he's trying to do the right thing, it ends up hurting people in the end. Because if Curly is found, he has to deal with this fucking trauma for the rest of his life. And his life is basically fucked. But if he doesn't, then he just fucking starves to death with the acknowledgement that Jimmy's corpse is just rotting outside his pod. And with that, the credits roll and finally end Mouthwashing.
In the end, Jimmy wished like the mouthwashing the tool par was shipping. At his best, he was useless. At his worst, he was damaging. The fact that he also got an easy way out while Daisuke was probably stabbed and electrocuted by wires and bleed out on the floor. Swansea having to watch his kid bleed out and die in front of him, having to make him put him out of his misery, while also getting chased with Jimmy with a gun, tied up, taunted by Jimmy, and then looking down the barrel of that same exact gun. Anya getting manipulated and by Jimmy, as well as getting maliciously bullied by him, by the way, to the point where she had to take her own life and overdose on painkillers. And Curly probably has the worst fate out of them all, considering that he probably still has a chance of survival. But what good does that survival do him if he's gonna be living with this trauma for the rest of his life? Also the fact that he's also quadriplegic, will take probably years and years of him to recover and get back up on his own 2 feet, or borrow a pair of feet. And or if he doesn't get found, he's just stuck there and starving to death in a pod, knowing that Jimmy's corpse is right next to the pod. While Jimmy just gets a bullet straight to the head, probably thinking he did his captain a favor and sacrificed himself for the greater good.
Mouthwashing isn't a happy tale. It's a grounded reality horror experience that is more scary than anything else could be, because its monster is a normal human being. And that's what terrifies me the most, that people like this exist, are just roaming around, and we just don't know it yet until it's too late. But there's one more thing to talk about.
Now that is the end to Mouthwashing. There is no secret or good ending to see if things pan out better. It's grounded, it's real, and that's why I love it for what it is. It's one of the few games that I feel like could be turned into a phenomenal movie if someone tried.
But that's not the end of this video, because if you recall earlier in the video, I mentioned I would talk about Wrong Oregon's first ever game, How Fish is Made. Now, I wouldn't really be talking about this game since it mostly has nothing to do with mouthwashing. Ooh, illusion of choice. But before the release of Mouthwashing, Wrong Oregon put out free DLC for the game that is canon and ties to the story of Mouthwashing, called The Last One and Then Another. We open up this DLC by being a ball of katamari-like mass, which is made up with compost fish, scraps, and various debris, with the fish that is in it still alive. We play as this thing. Fucking gross. Also, warning ahead of time before continuing on with the rest of this video, there is a lot of fish gore and guts in this video, so I recommend looking away if you have a sensitive stomach. When rolling around, the ball collects dead fish and fish parts, with these flesh things coming out to collect. On our way forward, we see this other fish.
Look at me! Look at you! We've done it! Bigger. I'm here. I think I want to get better. Yours will be my mouth. Yours will be my vent. More is more is more is more. Devour your smallness. Fill your void.
We have only two options, to either consume him or leave him. You won't be able to consume him until you collect enough dead fish parts. Doing so, though, now gives you the choice to either do one or the other.
Yes, every part of you is a part of me.
Consuming him brings him along for the ride, where we fall down this dark hole with a light inside. Every time you go to the light, it moves until we see him.
It's easy to get on the boat when you have to. You say for yourself, this is just temporary. Just until I get what I need. I got bigger things planned. Then suddenly, you're 1 year in, 5 years, 10. First I couldn't stand the constant noise. Now I can't sleep without it. A lot of things can't follow you out here. But it also means the outside world moves on without you. Won't even notice until it's too late. Easy to get on, hard to leave.
Curly is here and is reminiscing about his time with the company as well as his time as a living corpse. Not being satisfied with it, but keeps going on with it since he can't stop nor has a choice. After speaking with the big man, our surrounding area lights up with fish corpses and chum everywhere. We see a hole on our right, with there being a birthday party for a single fish.
Hey, don't you touch nothing. This is mine. Find your own. I'm having such a great time. Who knew such a thing existed? Who knew how good it could be? Shiny, shiny, shiny. I got shiny on the inside. Nothing can compare. Huh? Come with you? I don't need you to get big. Look at me. The biggest. You ain't got shiny like I do. You don't understand? You'll just have to pretend. This happiness, all mine. No, I'm the biggest. I should be eating you.
Taking him with us leads to this mountain of chum in the center of the table we were at, grounded up, us able to jump into this hole. Falling down that same hole, we see a fish bait hook hanging from the ceiling, with the little fish attached to it shaking. The only option we have for it is to leave it, but it still consumes it, making Curly appear again.
Do you want to hear a joke? 3 men are in a hospital. The first man cries. I lost both my hands. They told me I'll never work again. The second man wails. I lost both my legs. They told me I'll never work again. The third man? He rejoices. I lost my hearing. They'll never be able to tell me I'm fired again. Good one, huh?
He makes a joke at his own expense, since he's both the worker that lost both his arms and legs, while Jimmy is the one who lost his hearing, since he listened to no one when he was captain. After that chat, Curly fades in the darkness again, with us falling into the darkness ourselves and falling on top of the bowl table again, with us being in a big enough with us being big enough to go on our left with the rails. We enter the room, we see a bunch of mouthwash bottles everywhere, with a blue fish in the center, with it also shaking.
I want to go back. Oh, why'd I have to come here? We belonged in that other place. I want to go up or down. Wait, no. Or was it left or right? I was stupid to think I could be different. Sure, it was scary, but now I'm all alone. Look at you, take me back there. I can help, I can see perfectly, clearly. Nothing will touch us. If we're together, you're just like me. Take me with you. Everything goes round and round again.
consuming the drunk fish and taking them with us makes us big enough to be able to consume the bigger fish we had to leave behind. And talking to Curly one last time.
Next comes Spike. First it stares back at you in the mirror, then it stares around you. They're wearing your face, and you're theirs. You know he joined because of me. What were the words I used? Oh, right. It's a great opportunity. Easy money, just a trip or two. Someone else's words in my mouth. Hey, worked on me as well, right? Change hurts, but worse things fester for a long time. I told him as much. I tried. I really did. We're defined by our past, but not slaves to it. We said tomorrow will be different. Today will be the last day. The last one. The last one, and then another. And another. And another. And another.
Curly talks about the time when he helped Jimmy get this job, using the same words that were used on him. He tried to make Jimmy a better person during his time on the job, but there was no saving that man. He clearly didn't regret what he did to Anya. He definitely Anya before all that shit happened with Pony Express shutting down. It's just when he got the news that they were shutting down, then he started to break down. It was never Anya that was his breaking point. It was his job. There was no saving that man. He was far from saving. Now, if you haven't noticed yet, that the fish we play as is death, and we are talking to the other fish we come across to the afterlife, who are represented as the Tool Park crew, with the first fish we consume being Daisuke, wanting to come up with us, and to be just like us. The fish that's eating the cake is Jimmy, wanting more in life and thinking he's deserving of it, while being selfish in the process. The fish bait hook with the little fish is Anya, not being an alive fish like the rest since Jimmy only saw her as an object, while the baby was more of a concern. And the big fish being Swansea, and what he was really thinking on the inside, with the mouthwash he was drinking in the game making him a lot more open. And finally, Curly is the only one we don't get to see get consumed, since he was saved by the cryopod.
How fish is made can't make sense without mouthwashing, but mouthwashing can make sense without how fish are made. It's kind of like a Lego set. You build it, and it's done, it's complete. The whole thing, shebang, done. But you get these little extra pieces. You could throw them away, or you can use them to make something else, something new, something fresh, something it wasn't intended for. And that's what I feel like mouthwashing and how fish is made. I did have a good time analyzing this game, even if it really made me uncomfortable and almost vomited.
It's very interesting to me that this game came out before the release of Mouthwashing, giving us a little taste on what to expect of the horrors and atrocities that would occur on that ship.
And yeah, that's the whole video. I really appreciate you making it all the way to the end for the big rambly ending for these videos. This took a long time to make, thanks to the UK video that made me push all the other videos back for so long that it took a while for us to get here. So I thank you dearly for the patience. I'd also like to thank the wonderful animator who helped animate the beautiful animations you saw in this video, which was done by Joetastic. He does a lot of these beautiful animations, some serious, some jokes. I'm not a picky guy, I'll choose either. And I do heavily, strongly recommend you go check out his other work. He's a phenomenal guy who made these animations. As well as uses code for gamer subs, Joetastic, to get 10% off your order. And I'd like to heavily thank my grandma for help funding these animations. She's a big reason why these animations are in the video as they are. And I cannot thank her enough for what she has done in the support. As well as my mother who helped support this as well. And we can't forget about the talented voices behind the characters of this video, with Jaden being Daisuke, my best friend Owinka being Swansea, my other best friend Plumpkin being Anya, a newcomer, Swimjim being Jimmy, who did a phenomenal job as well. Can't believe he's a really good fit for Jimmy. I mean that in the nicest way possible. And Ismael, who came in clutch in being Curly. It was originally gonna be Whelp, but some complicated things happened, which he unfortunately could not replace. This took a lot of money, time, and energy in making this a reality, and I'd like to thank everyone who was a part of it. Now, the next video long-form project will probably be about Hotline Miami. I want to do a video on that game series, and then we'll see what goes on there. Hey, maybe Mafia Definitive Edition if we get that far. Now, I thank everyone for sticking around and watching this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Bye-bye.
You were right. I'll always be a villain.